Chapter 4, Famous Riddles and Mysteries. One of the greatest mysteries surrounding Bobby's chess is the question why he took the poisoned h2 pawn in the first game of the World Championship match against Spassky, Reykjavik, 1972. Okay, I also don't know the answer, of course, for sure, but I think that the main theory surrounding it is probably right. Okay, after almost any normal move by black here, it would be a draw sooner or later, probably sooner. But Bobby relatively quickly took the h2 pawn, which proved to be wrong. And it is very likely that he miscalculated. Okay, his bishop is imprisoned, but he probably thought that he can free it with h5, h4, and so that bishop h2 was a winning try to add spice to the position. But his bishop will never see the light of day again. And yeah, it is very likely that initially he had calculated h3 and then thought that it will be okay for him and his bishop will break free again. But the problem is that white has bishop d2, closing the door and sealing the fate of the bishop. And so bishop takes h2 doesn't make sense from black's point of view. Now there are two results. It's a draw or white wins. Okay, objectively it should still be a draw after all those years of analysis, but yeah, it is very tough to defend. Okay, Bobby has activated his king and now survives just with most precise defense. Yeah, there was a long debate about king g4 and king h5 until Jonathan Spielman proved for sure that king e4 draws in analyzing the endgame. There's also long analysis by Kasparov and Timman and Herbert Bastian in the German magazine Schach 1 year ago. So it now seems clear that the position is still a draw, but after so many years and with computer help. And how difficult it must have been over the board. Okay, so Spassky played a4 to activate his bishop first. a6, keeping the pawn on light squares and preparing fortress-like setups on the queen side. And here Bobby had a choice, e5 or f5. One draws, one loses. e5 still draws, as black can close the roads and then always hope to reach a fortress like this. White is an extra bishop but cannot win, as black's king cannot be forced away from the queen side. So e5 would have drawn from a theoretical point of view, while f5 loses. Here Spassky sealed e takes f and could check in the German analysis that he is winning, whatever happens. Now the bishop wins by the typical Zugzwang techniques and black doesn't reach the fortress-like draws on the queen side. Zugzwang forces black to make a concession. And now white's king is always in time on the queen side. And it's also important that black, unfortunately, still has the a5 move and white hasn't played a5 yet. This is also very important, of course. So Bobby played a5 immediately, but it doesn't change matters. Zugzwang. White can take, as the king will be back in time on the queen side. And now, if black's king could fly to c8, it would be a draw. But if the king can't fly, Fischer resign. So yeah, it is a mystery to this day why Fischer took the pawn on h2, but most probably he miscalculated, which was a very rare occurrence, of course, in Bobby's games. He was a very good calculator. But yeah, here maybe in the first game in Reykjavik, he was still a bit nervous and took too early on h2 without checking all variations in detail, and it was a try to win or to unbalance the position, which backfired.